right, y'all. Everybody been all in my inbox and whatever else, like any food I put up there, want to know what it is I do and how I do it. Wanting recipes and things of that nature. So we decided, my daughters have been telling me for the longest that I need to start a YouTube channel, cooking channel. So I was sitting there, so I said, well, let's do a trial run today. So today we're gonna do we got some smothered, we're gonna do some smothered pork chops in my special homemade gravy. We're gonna also got some ham hocks going on here, cause we got the collard greens. We're gonna get ready to get started up. Turn this on. We got some, y'all see that cast iron skillet? Y'all don't know nothing about that right there. We got that cast iron skillet. We're gonna fry them pork chops up in it first. We're gonna do it the old school way. You hear me? And we got a pot right on the back. We're going to do some rice. I'm going to take the easy way out. I'm just going to do some instant rice today. But I already got my neck bones and stuff like that already going. You want your neck bones, I mean, not your neck bones, your ham hocks is what we're doing. So you want your ham hocks to cook down low. You see that right there? Because when you cooking greens, you don't want a whole lot of liquor. Because you'll have too much liquor and not enough seasoning up in there. You want to cook down real good. So that way that ham hock, you're going to season that, as them old folks say, that liquor. So, we got that going. My greens are washed. They've been cut up. And I want y'all to see that they was fresh greens. That they wasn't no bad greens. But if you want to do bad greens or whatever else like that, even if you want to do canned greens, I'm going to show you how to make them taste good. Y'all, I thought I was in church for a minute. I almost said amen. Alright, y'all. So, I'm going to sit my lid and stuff over here. We're going to go ahead and we're going to drop these greens off in it. And I want y'all to let y'all know my hands have been washed several times since I've been in the kitchen. Don't come in that kitchen with no dirty fingernails, no dirty hands. That ain't how we do things up in here. And if you got on false nails, check the back. Check the back of them. See if they nasty. If them nails nasty, you need to do something about it. Don't bring them up in the kitchen, because I'm going to tell you right now, we be looking. Do you hear me? We be looking. If your nails nasty, I don't want it, because my grandmama always told me that them hands and them feet got to touch the water first. They got to touch the water first. So if your hands and your feet nasty, I don't want nothing you cooking. That's just me being real with you. All right, y'all. So I'm getting these greens off up in here. And don't worry about it, because it ain't that much water, because these greens, and don't think you're overpowering the pot. Because hear me when I tell you, these greens going to melt down. And if your greens, when you're cutting them up, if they tender, then this mist is. Tender mean they easy to tell. You'll feel it. They feel kind of soft and tender in your hands. But if they feel tough, then I'm going to tell you a little trick my mom and my grandmama them taught me. Put you a little baking soda in the greens, and it'll tender them up. Do you hear me? That'll make them tender. All right, so we're just going to do a little old school up in here, just some basics. And I've done a lot with collard greens, and I promise you every way they love it. So what you're going to do is, all right, so I'm going to tell you one of my little secret ingredients. I always put a chicken bouillon cube or else some chicken broth up in there. I'm telling you, don't knock it till you try it. You know they used to use the fat meat grease and all that up in there? I don't do that. I put 2 tablespoons of butter in my greens. Don't knock it till you try it. I know what your grandmama used to do, but I'm telling you, I ain't up for dying no time soon with all that grease or whatever else like that. We ain't finna do that. So, what I do, you see this right here? This accent. I put accent in it, and the reason being is because it's going to bring out all other flavors that I put up in there. That's all accent is. It just like an accessory, like jewelry to a fine suit. Which, speaking of that, y'all, they got me selling paparazzi. So I'm going to be live doing that for long. I just got to figure out how to dig into that. So I ain't going to tell you how to season your stuff too much. I'm going to tell you, just watch me. I seasoned it enough to my ancestors tell me to stop. So I put my my pepper, I put some black pepper in there, I put some accent salt up in there. Now, today we're going to throw you for a little loop, all right? We're going to put a little cut up onions up in there, little diced onions up in there, however you want to cut them up. You may want yours slithered, however you want it. that's the way you do it. You feel me? Go ahead and put all them onions, all that up in. I'm telling y'all, it smells so good up in here. I slap my own self, but I'm scared I might get offended. All right, now here go another little kick too. You got, let me go ahead and let me put my little salt up in there. Let me put some more salt. All right. Now, I can't tell you how to season you season however you want to season. Because some of you may have high blood pressure or whatever else like that. And you know you already got this ham hock. But you also can substitute that ham hock with turkey, smoked turkey. You can use any part of smoked turkey you want off of it. From the rooter to the tootie. You can put it up in there. All right, now here goes the sugar. Now put some, if you ever had greens and they tasted bitter, like some turnip greens or whatever else like that, put your little sugar in it. This right here is like 2.5 tablespoons of sugar that I got going in my greens. Y'all, when I tell y'all these greens smell so good. And you see, remember I told y'all don't worry about that pot filling up like that. Remember I told you they were going to cook down. Look at that. Them greens going to melt to nothing. But you know, I don't need that many. It don't take much for us here. So you see how that? Go ahead, look at it. Look at it. Look at it. You see that ham? You see that ham hock bone up in there? That meat done came off of that bone. That's what you want right there. That's what you want. All right, y'all. Smelling so good. So good. So what you do? Go ahead. And for those of you who can't cook, who you just not starting out, or maybe you can cook something but you don't know how to cook greens and whatever else like that, I'm going to tell you a little secret. Before I learned how to cook decades ago, I learned this. My mama taught me this. If you don't know, cook it low and slow. If you don't know, cook it low and slow. So what we're going to do is, I got it turned up high. We're going to turn that on down a little bit. It's about medium heat. And we're going to let that do what it do. And the only thing you do is once you done season it up, you leave that stuff alone. Alright. So I'm going to put my lid on here. And I'm going to leave it alone. You see I didn't have too much liquor, none of that up in there, none of that juice or nothing going up in there. I didn't have none of that. So, alrighty. So what we're going to get ready to do, I got my, heating up. My grease heating up for my pork chops. I should have put it on this back one. So, yeah, we're going to do the back one. Because that's water. So, I got that cast iron going on right there. So, I'm going to tell you what I'm about to do. So, I just got some mixed cut pork chops from Walmart. And what I'm going to do is I'm going to use salt, black pepper, garlic powder, onion powder, Lawry's, and this right here is my best friend. Do you hear me? Go, you can find it in Walmart, you can find it in Piggly Wiggly, whatever, but just find it. This is some good seasoning right here. All right, now, if you one of those type of people, now me, I told you, I season it to my ancestors tell me to stop. But if you don't really know how to really season your meat and you always, it's always bland or whatever, put a little accent salt on it. That accent salt, I'm telling you, gonna bring out all the flavors, gonna bring them all together. All right, so we don't have to do a whole bunch of seasoning and stuff like that. We don't have to do that. Only thing we're gonna do is we're gonna lightly season each side. We're gonna do that on each side, y'all. And reason being is because our gravy is gonna be good and seasoned. You see that? So if you had to ask me, I would tell you if you were mixing it, just do about a tablespoon of each one, and it should be enough for you to season each side. You can just mix all this together, and then what you can do is you can just take that, do it like a rub or something, and season each side. That's it. All right, we're gonna go over with a little salt. And the only thing we're gonna do is we're gonna repeat the other side. That's it. Once we get through with all this, you see I'm not putting a whole lot on there, but you do want your seasoning. You do want some seasoning on it. Just a little tap of that. These are kind of thick chops. All right. So what you do is you flip them. Rinse my hands off. Because after you get through touching that raw meat, you don't want to keep touching your seasoning and stuff like that. Especially if you're dealing with chicken or anything like that. Don't do that. And Miss Hair, you sick as a dog. Don't do it. I don't know, but I haven't experienced it, but I've heard it. And I don't ever want to experience. So how are y'all doing with this coronavirus and all the rest of this stuff that's going on? I tell you, America is truly speaking. I'm proud to be black in America. I am. I really am. But I'm going to tell you one thing. The only way we're going to be able to overcome things is through love. Through love. We must love one another. Amen. All right, now I'm going to do you one better. I'm going to even put a little seasoned salt. Just so you see. I got a little flour. So I'm going to put a little seasoned salt up in my flour. And don't worry about your hand, because your hand's supposed to be washed and clean anyway. So don't be, you see that? I want you to see that's a flour check. That's what cooks do. We don't need no thermometer or none of that. We just throw a little flour off up in there. You feel me? All right, so what I'm going to do is I'm going to drop them pork chops up in there. And I'm going to drop it in that grease. Now, sometimes I flour them, and sometimes I don't. Sometimes I sear them, and what I do is I make that gravy. Look at that. You want that grease to be just like that. If you think it's cooking too fast, turn it down. Just because it's brown on the side, on each side, don't mean it's done. Ain't nobody want no raw meat. So you see mine went to cooking a little fast, so I turned that heat down on it, because that cast iron to hold that heat. All right. All right. I'm going to put these other two up in here. And y'all will be. So we back, okay? So we did our pork chops. I imagine I probably cooked them around about 5 minutes on each side. Between 5 and 8 minutes on each side. You don't want them too hard, but you see these are thick. So I had to make sure that they were good and done. So, used to be, in the old days, they used to do the gravy out of the drippings, right? Okay, so what I'm going to do is I'm going to make a roux first. And what a roux is going to be the base of my gravy. So right here I got 2 tablespoons of butter, y'all. And y'all, I want y'all to come look. Remember I told y'all, remember that pot full of greens? Remember I told you they're going to melt down, they're good and tender. Them greens done, y'all. Won't even 30 minutes. Them greens ready. But to be all fair though, I had already done cooked them ham hocks down though. So once you cook them ham hocks down, which you can put them in your pressure cooker for about 20 minutes or so. Or else you can put them in your, you got an Instant Pot, you can put them in there. Or whatever, go ahead and cook them down. Y'all see that butter season? Now that's about 2 tablespoons of salted butter, okay? Now what I'm going to do is I got some garlic. I got like 1.5 tablespoons of garlic. Y'all ain't had gravy like this. You hear me? So what you gonna do is you gonna cook that garlic a little bit. You don't want that garlic to cook too long like that, because garlic will burn quick. All right, so then I got like 1/2 of an onion, as they say. Onion. All right, so, oh, y'all, that smells so good, y'all. Oh, yeah. Bless it. All right, so now, while we letting that do what it's gonna do, we can turn it down a little bit. We ain't gotta be in no hurry. Now, y'all, I'm gonna do me a little bread, but don't nobody else in the house really eat it because everybody on diet. And I ain't supposed to have it because I'm supposed to be losing weight too, but I'm gonna eat me a little bread today. I might do me a little hush pepper or a whole cake or something though, as we call them. Y'all may call them, what they call them, hot water cornbread. Back home country, so we used to call them whole cake. All right, y'all. So, now as I got this right here simmering, so while I got this right here simmering, I'm gonna go ahead. Now I'm gonna do up my other stuff. Now mind y'all, now pork chops and stuff are seasoned. So you don't want to over season your gravy. And this garlic and this onion gonna give it a lot of flavor. You see how that's coming along? All right. So while we getting that a little tender. Now sometimes I will. What I do is I get the seasoned blend out of the frozen section of the of your grocery store, Walmart, whatever. Oh, y'all, that smells so good. Y'all, I need my tail wood for real. So we're gonna get all this sauteed down. Now what I'm working with is a half of an onion and I'm working with a tablespoon and a half of garlic, minced garlic. And you just gonna let that cook, but you want to keep it stirred. Cause like I told you before, that garlic will burn and it'll burn fast. And you don't want no burnt garlic. So y'all see how pretty that is? You just gonna let it caramelize. You feel me? Look at that. You see that it's getting some color to it. Y'all see that? You want it just to caramelize. All right, now we done got that kind of good and tender. Now what we're gonna... All right, now we're gonna add some water. Now remind you now, we put 2 tablespoons of butter up in here. And we put a tablespoon and a half of garlic. And a half of onion. Now, there you go. You hear that silver? Y'all ought to smell it. Oh, can y'all smell that? Oh, oh, that smells good. All right. So the key to my gravy is, I'm gonna let this come to a boil. This right here gonna be my little base. All right. So now while this right here boiling, we're gonna turn it down just a little bit. Put it on medium because it already cooked to a boil. So while this boiling, we'll add a little bit more water. Now this right here, this one that cooking from the soul gotta come in now. That may be like a half a cup, a little over half a cup of water. But then the next part is gonna be that thickener. Now it's up to you with how thick you want your gravy. Me, I like mine a little thick. I want to talk to him. I like it about like I like my meat, and I want it a little thick, you know. Not too big, but I want it a little thick. All right, so y'all see how that looks? Y'all see how pretty that is? But I know you're saying like, oh, that's too light for gravy. So I got you. Hold on just a minute. I got you. All right. So you're going to let that alone and leave it like it is. Just turn it back up a little bit so it get a boil on it. All right. So now y'all see the rest of the water we got right here. About 2/3 cups or whatever. All right. So now we got our flour. Now this right here is about 2.5 spoons of flour. All right. Now here go the trick. No lumps need to be up in this mixture, this thickener. So what you're gonna do, you're just gonna dump it off up in that water. Let's get all that off the side. All right, and you just gonna give it a good mix. Y'all see that? It's all in the wrist. It's all in the wrist. You gonna mix that. That's your thickener. Now some of you may want it a little thicker or whatever else like that. The more flour based, this flour mixer that you add, the thicker it's gonna be. But now let's go back to this right here. All right, let's go back to our roux. So we want to season our roux. So again, we got that right there, that perfect pinch. Mind you now, our pork chops are already seasoned, right? So we don't want a whole lot. We're gonna put just a little tap of salt. All right, and we're gonna put a little bit of pepper. And some of y'all may be saying, well, dog, that gravy is still too white. And then you saying that I'm gonna add this right up in here. My flour mixed in, that's white, so that's gonna make it a little light. Okay, well, let me show you what else we do. So we add, look at this right here. See that? Now, it say brown and seasoning sauce. I'm here to tell you, this don't season nothing. Do you hear me? It just give it color. That's it. Don't go putting this up in something other, thinking that that's going to work out. Because that ain't going to work. That ain't going to work. All right, now, for those of you who don't know how to do that, and ain't good with measure, just pour you about 2 capfuls of that right there up in there, up in your little mixture. If you want it darker, pour some more up in there. Get all that flour off there. All right. Now you see, now this right here is cold water. Make sure y'all mix it up with cold water. Your flour mixture. Make sure it's cold water. Now you see that right there boiling. Y'all ready to watch the magic? Let's watch it. Y'all see that? And immediately begin to whisk. You see how thick that's getting? And it's getting thick fast. You want to start whisking it. Especially if you got any more little lumps of that flour or anything else like that that you didn't mix out. You can get all that out. Don't stress about it. And you see I'm adding water as I go. Because you remember now, this gravy got to cook. Don't just think because it's thick. Now, I know a lot of y'all do. It's thick, so it's ready because it's thick. No, that ain't the case. You just got some raw colored flour, and you don't want that. So, y'all, we'll be back in a minute. I'm going to add a little bit more water to it. And in just a minute, I'm going to add my... So, now we got our gravy going. And if you see some little white pieces or whatever, that's just your garlic. Don't be stressing. Don't be stressing. All right? So we're going to put this off up in there. Y'all see how that boiling? Oh, y'all. Baby. All right. Now, you want to make sure that none of them pork chops feel neglected. You feel me? So make sure you push them off down up in that gravy. That all covered and smothered. Now, you see how it's getting thick? Y'all hear that boil? That means that gravy getting thick. Alright, and when you add the pork chop, remember we fried them with that flour. So that flour gonna help get them thick too. So what we gonna do, see we got your onions and all that up in there. See what we gonna do, we gonna cover and leave it alone. Now mind you what I told you. If you don't know, cook low and cook slow. Ain't nothing wrong with it. Oh, y'all, they're gonna be so good. But we gotta cover it up. Now the green's ready. Now them greens ready. Look at that. Remember y'all had a big old pot full? But I told you they're gonna cook down, they're gonna melt down, and worry about that. But we don't need a lot. And there go the rice. Got it already done. I just did some instant rice today. Now what I'm gonna do is I'm gonna cover my chops. And I'm gonna leave that alone. I ain't gonna bother. And we'll be back. So as you can see, them chops, you see that garlic on top? You see them onions? Oh, y'all. That's so good. Y'all see that? That's so tender. Y'all see that? Baby. Them my smothered chops. Y'all ain't ready for them. Y'all ain't ready for them chops. Alright, so we're gonna turn this off because it's ready. And we're gonna plate because Triv and them act like they just about starved. Gotta eat. Alright, so y'all see, we got our greens right here. Get out the way. We didn't eat much. Because like I told y'all, we all on diet, so. The rice, I cook too much rice, but what we'll do is we'll use it for shrimp fried rice or whatever it is, like we always do. Alright, so let's plate. Alright. Y'all ready? Alright, so we're gonna get us one of these. Look at it. Look at that, y'all. Look at that, y'all. We're gonna get you some onions. We're gonna put some onions and stuff on there. What y'all know about these? Huh? All right. So now, I don't know how y'all like y'all, but we gonna like a little rice on that gravy, I mean, a little gravy on them rice. I'm sorry. Your math skills are so amazing. Look at that. Let's get a few of them onions. Y'all see that garlic and all that up in there? It would be number 1 and number 2. Right. Y'all ain't ready. You're so amazing at math. Yeah, ain't ready. Drizzle a little bit at them. I know what y'all saying, but we ain't gonna eat no bread though, for real. All right, y'all. So now we got our greens. I want y'all just to look. Stir that one with some meat in there. It ain't gotta be a lot, but it need to be a little bit. Look at that. We're gonna put a little greens on here. And I know y'all saying we doing wrong. Cause we ain't got no bread with the green, but I'm telling y'all, look at that. We trying to lose weight around here. Y'all look at that. Look at that. That's one of the smothered pork chops and greens. Them pork chops smothered in my own homemade gravy, full of garlic, minced garlic and onions and all that good stuff. Y'all see that? Them green got them ham hocks and stuff in them. And you cook them what you call it, you cook them pork chops as long as you want. Because you know how tender you want them. Now me, this right here, a baby or a man, a woman with no teeth can eat this meat right here. I'm telling you, I'm about to tear it down. Y'all see this? This cooking with Wanda. So y'all tell me, should I go ahead and start that channel? Am I a cook or am I a rookie? Y'all have a good one. Be blessed. Bye-bye.